Hey, start again. I was muted. I apologise. It's your boy Flicks back with another live stream. Yes, big game today. Massive, massive game for all of us. The Premier League. Are we going down or are we surviving for another season? Let's see your thoughts in the comments section. First things first, get smashing the likes. The more likes, the better. And please sub to the channel if you are new. So Tottenham taking on Liverpool at Anfield. I've said before and I'll say again, I have no more faith left with the remaining squad we have left. We have literally hit rock bottom, haven't we? And yes, we are playing at Anfield, and I actually forgot about our ridiculously sickening stat. We all know about Chelsea. Every time we go to Stamford Bridge, it's just, we find it very difficult, don't we, to even get anything at Stamford Bridge. We haven't got anything at Anfield in our last 14 visits. I'll just go through the last couple of games there. So we've lost 5-1. Now, funnily enough, 5-1 is my predicted scoreline today. Saying that, it could be more. It could be more, but I'll get onto that a little bit later. Before that, we lost 4-2, 4-3, 1-1, and so on and so on and so on. But like I said, we haven't got anything against Liverpool at Anfield in the last 14 meetings. Utterly ridiculous, isn't it? Utterly ridiculous. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Look, it's going to take more than a miracle to even get a point today. With about 13 players missing. 13 players missing. You just think, could it actually get any worse? Could it? Honestly. I'm just going to go through a couple of players that I do know that are definitely missing, and that is Cristian Romero. Head injury, apparently. Obviously, Mickey van der Ven, suspended. Maddison, he's been out for such a long time. Such a long time. Mohamed Kudus, who apparently is due back in April. But have we heard anything on Kudus since then? Nothing. Unless anyone can let me know in the comment section if you've heard anything along the pipeline about Mohamed Kudus. You know, is he actually going to come back anytime soon? Basuma. Apparently Basuma's injured. Shalpalina. Kulusevski, now we all know about that one, a bit like Maddison. Adugi, he comes and goes, doesn't he? Adugi, Bentancur, Bergville, Odebert, Ben Davis. Am I missing anyone there, guys? I'm not too sure. But who's actually going to start for us today? Who's actually going to start for us? It's when I think to, obviously, Vicari's going to be playing in goal. Now, like I said before, and I'll say again, I actually feel for Kingsley. I really felt for Kingsley the other day. So, Kingsley to start in goal today? Most probably not. Most probably not. So, for Cairo to start in goal, excuse me, for Cairo to start in goal. Back four. Now, what's the back four going to be? Romero missing. Mickey van der Ven missing. Adugi missing. Now, that just leaves, from my understanding, Pedro Porro, Dragazin, Kevin Danzo, Jed Spence. That's the back four. Now, I don't want to see a back three. I am sick to death of seeing a back three. I really am. I really am. But guys, start hitting me up in the comments section. Who do you reckon will be starting with what we have left? You know, some might say, well, get the kids out. Get the kids in. Because we ain't got no one else. Now, I might sound a little bit of a hypocrite, because I've said before, you might as well just throw the kids in, because who else is there to call upon? No one. Literally no one. But right now, we have no leaders, do we? We have no leaders. So you can't throw kids in playing with kids. Because that's basically what it is. It's kids playing with kids. There's no leaders, no leadership whatsoever. Some might say, yeah, but Cristiano Romero he's a top captain. He's a leader. In my opinion, he's not. Romero's not a captain. I've said along the lines of before, Mickey van der Ven, captain material, leader. But for the past 2, maybe 3 months, his form has gone, hasn't it? He's just lost it completely. Mickey's lost it completely, hasn't he? So for me, right now, leader material, no. Maddison, of course, yes, but he's been out for such a long time. We have no leaders, so it's kids playing with kids. No one knows what they're doing, but it just extends all over, doesn't it? Not just on the pitch, but the board, the whole shebang. You know, again, saying that, a lot of our youth, they're not really muscly, are they? They're all very slim, small. A good example is Williams Barnett. Very, very good player. Very, very good player for the youth. But you can't throw him straight into the first team. Yeah, he might surprise us if he was given his chance maybe today. Who knows? But right now, should Tottenham really be taking that risk in throwing a couple of these kids in, especially with the situation we are currently in right now? We are in a complete and utter mess. With West Ham getting a point yesterday, this is what I mean. Teams down there in the mix are all fighting. They're all fighting and getting results, fighting for their badge, fighting for the fans, fighting for themselves to get out of that relegation scrap. And look what we're doing. We're just sitting there twiddling our thumbs. We're not doing anything. When was our last result? Very, very long time ago. Are we going to get anything today? Most probably not. And like I've said before, and I'll say again, I have no faith left with this squad. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. For those that do Super 6, I actually popped 5-1 Liverpool. And I'm sitting there doing my Super 6, sitting there thinking 5-1 Liverpool. Do you know what? It could be more. It could be more. But then some might say, but Flicks, come on. If Wolves can get a result against Liverpool, if such and such a team can get a result against Liverpool, and saying that, Liverpool have not been on fire themselves, have they, this season, compared to last season, where obviously they won the league and the players they bought. You know, when I went back in the summer, when I seen Liverpool buying all these players, I'm thinking, fuck me, they're gonna blow the league away. They're gonna fly. They're gonna be like 20 points clear before you know it. And it's been nowhere near that. They have been way out of form. So maybe we could get something today. But it's for Tottenham, it's gone way beyond that. Way beyond that. There is no fight, there is no passion, no one's fighting for the crest. No one's fighting for the likes of me and you. It's gone. It's the ship has sailed to rock bottom, and there is literally no way back up to the top. Again, by some miracle, you know, we could be really shocked today and see the boys really fighting and get a point. Who knows? But I'm just looking at, you know, realistically right now that we're not going to get anything. We are not going to get anything whatsoever. And when I think back to the signings that Spurs made, right? Xavi Simons, Kolo Muani, Charles Plina on loan. Kevin Danzo, he was on loan last season, wasn't he? And they made him a permanent this season. Mathis Telt, again, was on loan last season, signed a permanent this season. Mohamed Kudus and Kota Taiki. Now, Kota Taiki, yeah, signed him. And have we seen him play in a Spurs shirt? No. Gone out on loan. Kudus. Mohamed Kudus. We all heard from West Ham fans, yeah, the first season we had him, Absolutely phenomenal. Second season, you see what happens. Well, when we first signed him, he started off good, didn't he? He was working his wonders. Obviously, injuries took its toll, and he's been out for, God, how long could have been out for now? You know, it feels like such a long time. It really does. My guess is about 4, maybe 5 months, roughly. Quickly thinking now from top of my head. You know, math is tell. What's he done for us right now? Can you tell me what what has he done? Nothing. Kevin Danzo, I rate Kevin Danzo. For me, he's your old school centre back. So I do rate that one. Shalplino again, we need him on a permanent, but obviously if we get relegated, is he going to stick around? Probably not. So for me, Shalplino, decent. Kyler Moani has been an absolute disappointment, hasn't he? And some might say Xavi Simons as well has been a disappointment. So you know, these signings are just. I'm actually sick of just repeating it. Going back to January when you've got the likes of West Ham, Leeds, who am I missing? Crystal Palace, who signed Brennan Johnson, our top scorer from last season. Now, why the fuck did they get rid of Brennan Johnson? Okay, yeah, when they got rid of him, I'm thinking, oh wow, we're gonna get someone a little bit better than Brennan Johnson. Maybe could bang us an extra 5 goals a season. Who did we get? Some young kid from Hearts, gone straight into the academy. Under 21s, see you later. Wasn't replaced. Was not replaced. And who else did we get? Conor Gallagher. Yeah, not bad, but we should be doing better than that. We should be doing better than that. And you know, like I keep saying, all these teams are down there: West Ham, Palace, Leeds, Nottingham Forest. They're all fighting. Wolves, they've even turned the corner, haven't they? Yeah, they're sitting rock bottom, money on about 15, 16 points roughly, without double checking. But you know, they're down there. They've turned the corner up. They're getting the points and they're fighting for themselves. They're fighting for the fans. Burnley got another point yesterday. Now, quickly, I've got to get it up now. Got to get the table up. I wish I could throw it up on here, but unfortunately, I can't. Bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna get the table up. Just gonna get the here we go. Hang on, let me refresh that. I don't think that's refreshed. Bear with me, guys. Right. Week 30, yeah? Week 30. Wolverhampton Wanderers are sitting rock bottom on 16 points. Burnley, 19th, 20 points. Now, Burnley, right? Burnley are sitting second from bottom. Like I said, they're on 20 points. They're only 9 points behind us. They can still get out of that. And saying that even Wolves. Because with Spurs, I honestly can't see where our next win or even our next draw is coming from. I really can't. I honestly can't see where we're going to get anything from what we have left. I really can't, guys. Can anyone in the comment section seriously tell me where the next win or even the next point is coming from? Because, like I keep saying, I've got no faith left in this squad whatsoever. I'm just facing the fact that Spurs are going to be playing Championship football next season, and once we reach the Championship, there is no way back. Some are saying it's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing to see Spurs go down because it's going to give everyone a kick up the arse. Well, not necessarily, because the only people it's going to kick up the arse is the likes of me and you, and maybe 1 or 2 Spurs players that are going to stay because no one else wants them. Everyone else is going to leave. Mickey van der Ven, Romero, Porro, Adogi, Vicario, Basuma. Shall I keep going? Benton Kerr. Maybe Solanke might leave. Xavi Simons. They're all going to go. They are all going to go. And at the end of the day, they do not give a flying. You know what I mean? So with the remaining fixtures, Liverpool today, are we going to get anything? Of course not. Of course not. Then we're going into, obviously, after the second leg of the Champions League. We got Nottingham Forest, haven't we? Are we going to get anything back at the Lane against Nottingham Forest? Now, the last time we played them, correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comment section, but we lost 3-0. We lost 3-0, right? Now, I've said before and I'll say again, Nottingham Forest have a better squad than Tottenham Hotspur. I hate to say it, but it's true. They have a better squad than us. So, again, going back to this must win next week when we don't get anything today, because we clearly won't. Next Sunday, 22nd of March, will be a cup final. Whoever gets the win will be staying up. Then after that, we're going into April, aren't we? Away to Sunderland. And then the last time we played Sunderland, we drew 1-1, I believe. 1-1, but this time being at the stadium, like, again, I can't see Spurs getting anything. Sunderland are no pushover, are they? Then our next home game is against Brighton. Again, Brighton are no pushover. Got a very good squad. Then it's where it gets worse again. We're back in a relegation scrap, this time against Wolverhampton Wanderers, away at the Molineux. Now, the last time we played them, who remembers what happened there? Last couple of minutes, was it? Probably not even that. And Jalplina got the equaliser, celebrating like we just got all 3 points. Now, this time around, like I said, it's away at the Molineux. Wolves have turned the corner. They are fighting. They're bagging the points. Fighting for the fans, fighting for themselves. And again, I can't see where the points are coming from. Again, that could potentially be another defeat. Another nail in Tottenham's coffin to head straight to the Championship. And I can't believe I'm saying it. I really can't. But I'll get onto that when I finish this little bit. And then we're away to Aston Villa. Aston Villa, aren't we? Again, just recently, we don't seem to get anything against Villa. Played them twice in the FA Cup, haven't we? This season and last season, beat us twice in the league as well. So like I said, not very good form just recently against Villa. Leeds, we just about beat Leeds, didn't we? Now that's the week after we play Villa. Again, a possible relegation scrap because Leeds mathematically are in the mix, even though not many people are talking about Leeds. And then it gets worse. This is where a lot of people are saying Chelsea are going to relegate Spurs. We play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on the 17th with one more Premier League game left. And that is at home at the Lane against Everton. Now, that could literally potentially be Tottenham's last ever game in the Premier League. Now, I'm going to get onto the comments in a minute, but please, again, tell me in the comments section where the freaking points are coming from, because, like I said, I've got no faith left. Nothing left. Not even 1%. I've got nothing left. Nothing left to tell me that Spurs are going to get out of this relegation scrap. They're going to survive and see another season in the Premier League. And what makes the situation worse, Arsenal winning again yesterday. And you know what I'm going to say? Arsenal going to win the league or we get relegated. It's written in the stars, isn't it? It's already written in the stars. That is what's going to happen. And it's going to be an absolute freaking killer. I'm trying so hard not to think about it, but I'm just facing the facts. I can't see where the results, the next win, even the next point is coming from to get us out this freaking mess that we are in right now. To think back, our last win in the Premier League was against Crystal Palace. Was it 28th of December? I'm going to start getting into the comments now, guys. But our last win was then. And we've got nothing since. Nothing since. And we're sitting on about 13, 14 defeats already. We're going to beat the record of last season, aren't we? 22 losses last season. And we only stayed up because the bottom three were shite. And there was a massive gap there, wasn't there? There was a really, really big gap. A really big gap. But honestly, I can't see where where even the next point's coming from. So let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know, guys. Right, I'm going to start getting onto the comments. So yes, like I said earlier, please smash a like. Please smash that like button on your way through. Every like matters. Please, 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 please. And please get subscribing if you're new to the channel. I want to hear your score predictions as well. Like I said, for those that do Super 6 or whatever predictions you do, I've actually gone with Liverpool to beat us 5-1. You know, it could be more. It really, really could be more than that. Because, like I keep saying, and I'll say again, I've got no faith left within this group of boys that we have left. Yeah, ENIC out. ENIC out. I've been ENIC out for such a long time. You know, we got Levy out. Time for ENIC now. And the board. Johan Lang and Vanai. Very clueless. Just haven't got a clue what they're doing, have they? Haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue. Look at when, if you look back in your I was going to say history, but it was only a couple of seasons ago, roughly, wasn't it? When Aston Villa was last relegated from the league, and Johan Lang was there, wasn't he? Now, where is he now? At Spurs. Where are Spurs right now? It's not good, is it? It's not good. And Vanai, Arsenal reject. Why the fuck did we get him? Why? Who is actually bringing these in? Obviously, it's Lewis, ENIC. You know, they've got to have their say, but it's just no one has got a clue what to do. No one's got a clue. No one has got a clue, have they? It's just one complete and utter freaking mess. So ENIC out, yeah, ENIC out all day long. And, you know, again, from my understanding, there is a organised protest for next Sunday, I believe. Again, I believe it's before the game. So again, look, we are a global embarrassment when it comes to organised a so-called protest, because 9 times out of 10, well, you might say 10 out of 10, you literally get a small handful of people that actually turn up, and when they do turn up, they're all just standing there, haven't got a clue what to say or even what to do. No one leads. But when you see a protest from Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, whoever, they get hundreds of thousands turning up, and they literally have their voices heard. They shout and scream, and they get, you know what I mean? With Spurs, we're just a global embarrassment, an absolute laughing stock, and it's just same old, same old, same old. So we need as many people to turn up next Sunday. Obviously, there's going to be many people going to the game, but we all need to join forces and seriously protest ENIC out. The board, even the board, the whole shebang, because we need complete change, because it's only getting worse. Seriously getting worse, and it's I don't know about you, but it's breaking my heart. It really is, to see where we was. And I keep repeating myself, but you know, when we look back to where we was 6-7 years ago, roughly, to where we are now, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? It's terrible. So big up Rodney Martin, big up COYS, big up. Nighttime Kid, big up yourself. He's gone with a 2-2 draw. 2-2. Oh, are you still sleeping? You know. Okay, right. With our defence, look, no Romero, no Mickey van der Ven, no Adugi. Midfield is non-existent. I'm not even going to bother talking about the striker situation. Where's the goals coming from? Where's the creativity coming from? Of course, looking at that 2-2, I'd be happy. I'll take that 2-2 all day long. That's a point. That is a point that could save Tottenham from going down into the Championship. It really could. But we're leaking goals. Vicario's shite. Some people might say Kingsky's shite. But the defence is just completely destroyed. The midfield, again, completely destroyed. No one scoring the goals. Like I said, no one creating anything. We've got nothing. So please tell me where are the goals coming from? Who's scoring them? Who's scoring them? Another comment here. What we got? To dare is to try. I know. Yeah, but I'm not going to say any more on that one. It's, you know what I mean? Yeah. Here we go again. Yeah, Arsenal have won the league. Let's face it. Arsenal have won the league. What, they're 9 points clear, aren't they? 9 points clear. I know Man City have got that game in hand, but even with that game in hand, it's not really going to close the gap, is it? I know they've got to play Arsenal, but they have to beat Arsenal and win every single game up to the end of the season. I hope Arsenal drop the points. And right now, with the remaining games that Arsenal have left, I can't see where the points are dropping. Maybe Man City could get something. Maybe. I think Arsenal got Bournemouth. Bournemouth up next. Bournemouth, yeah, no pushover really, are they? They're no pushover. They've had an all right season. They beat us. They beat Liverpool. I know that there's that saying, you never know. You never know, but we can only hope that Arsenal do drop the points, and by some miracle, Man City do creep up behind their asses and clinch first place. But with 8 games to go, they got that game in hand. You never know. You never know, guys. You never know. Other comments here. What we got here. I think Xavi is one who will grow into the league. Moani hasn't performed, especially in a World Cup. Sorry, say it again. In a World Cup year, we haven't been good enough. Paulina should have made captain by Tudor. Do you know what? I'm gonna agree with that one. Let me start getting the comments on here, guys. Let me start getting the comments. I actually agree with that. I agree with that. Paulina, if by some miracle Tottenham stay in the league for another season, we need to make someone like João Palhinha a permanent deal, because look, he's only on loan. He's only on loan, isn't he, until the end of the season? He could easily go back to Bayern Munich, especially if we go down. But like I said, by some miracle, if Tottenham survive relegation, make João Palhinha a possible captain. And then you got James Maddison, definitely. Dejan Kulusevski, he's captain material. But please, let's see your thoughts in the comments, guys. But yeah, I would definitely throw João Palhinha in the mix. Definitely, because I rate João Palhinha a lot. I really do, guys. I really do. Other comments here. Rodney Martin, we are going down like the Titanic. Oh man, I really hope not. I really hope not, guys. I really hope not. But like I keep saying, I've got no faith left. I really haven't, and I'm going to be, obviously I'm not going to be at the game today, but you know, sitting on a sofa watching our team Spurs, it's just going to be more freaking doom and gloom, isn't it? More doom and gloom, more misery. But I know there's that saying, you never know. You never know, but I'm just facing the facts, and especially our form at Anfield. Like I said earlier in my stream, our form at Anfield is completely and utter shite. We've not got anything. Oh, sorry, but we've not won. That's what I should have said. We've not won at Anfield in our last 14 meetings. So where are we getting the points from? Because I honestly can't see where we are getting the points from with what we have left. Rodney Martin's gone 3-1. What is that? 3? I'm guessing 3-1 Liverpool, right? Surely not 3-1 Spurs. Surely not. Obviously, I'll take 3-1 Spurs, but with our defence, very shaky. Vicario, again, shaky. Nothing in the midfield. Up top, again, nothing. But yeah, even 3-1 Liverpool, compared to what we have done, you know, letting in so many goals. Other comments here. Big up Milton. I've got a tenner on Liverpool 5, Spurs 1, and Forest 3-1 against Fulham. Returns is wow. a lot of people are saying Forest will do something today. Again, look, I know we had to rely on Man City to get something at West Ham yesterday. Unfortunately, West Ham got a point, and that could be a point that keeps them up. Now they're level on points now, aren't they? They're level with Spurs. To think a few weeks ago we was 9 points clear. Now they're level with us. If Forest win today, we lose, we go into that bottom 3, don't we? And it's just so sad. It really is. It really is. But let's hope that Fulham get all 3 points. Let's hope Fulham get all 3 points. Let's hope Fulham get all 3 points. Oh boy, honestly. Another comment here. Big up Milton again. In all honesty, mate, if we go down, which players will actually stay with us, especially with a 50% pay cut? Like I said earlier, I can't see many of our so-called top players staying. So I'm going to start from the back. For Vicario, I've heard rumours he wants out. He's gone already. Forget about that one. Kinski, the way he was treated the last game back in the Champions League. Again, it's one of them situations you're in, you just want the ground to swallow you up, don't you? But I do rate Kinski. I really do. And like I said, I felt sorry for the guy. So I'm going to put a question mark with Kinski. Someone like Brendan Austin, he'd probably stay. Then you got the defence. Pedro Porro, Mickey van der Ven, Romero, Adugi, maybe Jed Spence. They're all going to go. Draguzin, whatever you call him, he's going to go. Kevin Danzo, for me, I'm going to put a question mark there with Kevin Danzo. Who's missing? Souza. Again, maybe a question mark with Souza. Then we've got the midfielders, haven't we? Where do we start? James Maddison, Kulusevski. They'll probably go. Bergville, Bentancur, Basuma. They're all going to go. Mohamed Kudus. He's a goner. If anyone from the midfield is going to stay, it's going to be someone like Wilson Odobert and Mathis Tel, because look, who's going to want them to? Seriously, who is going to want them to? Honestly, let me know in the chat, right? Let me know in the chat. Do you actually rate those two? Odobert and Mathis Tel. Does anyone actually rate them? Because I don't. This is what I mean. I can't see anyone snapping them two up. So pretty much all the other midfielders, they're all going to go. Richarlison, yeah, definitely. Solanke, I'm going to put a question mark there with Solanke. So this is what I mean. With just the pay cut alone, they're all going to look at it and go, especially like players like, the so-called big boys like Romero, Mickey van der Ven, they're going to throw the toys out their pram and go, nah, fuck that, I'm off. They don't care about us. They don't care about me and you. At the end of the day, it's a job and it's business. But to us, we stick with Spurs through thick and thin. We're the ones that have to suffer. They come and go. So, yeah, if we go down to the Championship, our squad is going to be torn apart. And once we're in that Championship, there is no way back. I guarantee it. No way back. Because if you keep one eye on the Championship, it is one motherfucker to get out of. Innit? We all know that one. I know there's teams like your Burnleys. Who else? I was going to say Leeds. But teams like that, They're yo-yo teams. I don't know how they do it, but they manage to go down, but then they manage to come up again, don't they? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And obviously, you got teams like Lincoln City. They're what, first or second in League One. They're already singing Tottenham Hotspur away next season. Ole, ole, ole. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it, guys. But here we are. Here we are. Clock's ticking. The clock's ticking, Enoch. Board. Lang, Vanaya. The clock's ticking. Sort it out. Sort it out. Because you're just making the situation a hell of a lot worse. Hell of a lot worse. Big up Milton again. Hello from Australia. Big up. Yeah, I got viewers from Australia. I love that. I love that. I rate that. Smash the likes, guys. Please share my channel out in Australia. I love it. I love it. So hello from Australia. 11:30 p.m. Sunday night in Sydney. Big up. No, I rate that one still. I love that one. Big up Milton again. If we go down, make Archie Gray captain. Yeah, I forgot about Archie Gray. Here's another one. He will definitely stick with us. But then again, saying that, rumour has it that Archie Gray is linked with Bayern Munich. Now, what do you make of that one? Archie Gray to Bayern Munich next season if Spurs go down. Or even if we stay, he could still go. Who knows? And quickly, before I move on, Archie Gray. There's a lot of fans that don't rate him, but for me, I do. Look, you got to forget about the age. Because a lot of people think he's older than what he is. He's not. He's only about 19, maybe 20. Still very young. Still got lots and lots and lots to learn. And saying that, come back to last season under Ange Postecoglou, he was played there, played there, played there, played there. How many times has Archie Gray been in his natural position and stuck with that to seriously show us what he's got? And at the same time, I know it doesn't help when you got basically average players, no leaders, like I said earlier in my stream, no leaders, no creativity. You need all that in the mix to help these young kids break through that we know have got massive, massive potential. So he's another one. I do highly rate Archie Gray. I really do. I really do. Big up Milton again. It's hard to be positive in dark times. I follow Spurs since 1990. I've never felt so numb as a Spurs fan. How do we go from European champions to relegation? Now, okay, right, you've mentioned about Europa League last season. Now I'm going to mention it again. And big up Dan from Hotspur Hood. Because when he mentioned this, I'm sitting there thinking, do you know what? Do you know what, Dan? You're actually right. You're actually right. So basically, Dan from Hotspur Hood, big up Hotspur Hood. Get subscribing to Hotspur Hood, guys. But he actually said something along the lines of Tottenham Hotspur winning that Europa League last season under Ange Postecoglou papered over the cracks. Because it did. It simply papered over the cracks. It got everyone from the likes of me and you, everyone else, all forgetting about where Spurs finished in the league, how many league defeats we had. 22 league defeats, was it? Fourth from bottom, where, you know, thankfully we didn't get relegated. We was only thankful because the bottom three were shite. There was a massive points difference, wasn't there? But winning that Europa League papered over the cracks. And again, when I heard this and I thought about it a bit more, I thought, yeah, Dan's right, because it also got to the players. It's made the players think they're bigger than what they are. And the board, the board, the hierarchy is the number one thing with this whole situation. Because we should have gone from winning that to going into the summer, into January, and sign quality players. Forget about the wages, because they have the money to get the freaking wages. If they've got the money to get that certain player in the first place, then they've got the money for the wages. I'm sick to death of hearing the board time and time and time again. Oh, we got so and so in, but we can only get him in because we can only give him this certain amount each week or each year, whatever. It's bollocks. It's bollocks. It's bollocks, and I'm sick to death of hearing it. But it's actually made the situation at Tottenham a hell of a lot worse. Yeah, I know we got our first trophy in 17 years, our first European trophy in 41 years. That's all good. That's all good. But again, to think that was only about 9 months ago we won that. You know, it's simply papered over the cracks. We've all gone into La La Land for a little short time, and now we're back to reality. We're back in the room, seeing no change whatsoever. But yeah, here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Here we are. Big up Milton again. Big up Milton, guys. Weeks ago, people were saying we found. Sorry, I'll say it again. Weeks ago, people were saying we got a good goal difference. How quick things change. Exactly that. Nuno is going to make West Ham proud. 100%. I know. You saying that's what he said to us when he was a Tottenham manager for a short time. He's going to make Tottenham Hotspur proud. Well, he's certainly going to make West Ham proud because they are fighting. They are fighting, aren't they? They're scrapping. They're scrapping for everything. Seriously fighting, and they've got leadership, haven't they? Gerard Bowen, leader, true leader. Their defence, you know, they've got that. They've got that. Is it? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but they got that Dicey from Chelsea. That's tightened up their defence, hasn't it? That is seriously tightened up their defence. And what's Spurs done? What have Spurs done? Got Conor Gallagher from Atletico Madrid. Got some young kid that's gone straight into the academy from Hearts. Souza, again, a young kid, left back. Why we got another left back, I really don't know. And all these other teams, like I said, and I'll say again, they're all making these, will all make these signings back in January, even the summer. But at the end of the day, they are fighting. They are fighting for their lives. And what are Spurs doing? What are Spurs doing? This is why I can't help but think our days are numbered and the players have simply given up. They have got no fight left. No fight. And they're just seeing the rest of the league out and see you later. It's one of them ones, isn't it? It's just so sad. It really is. It really is. Kudus and Romero are off to Atletico Madrid. I've heard rumours about Kudus, but I'm going to take that Mohamed Kudus move with a pinch of salt at the moment. Obviously, yeah, Atletico Madrid, because he's been linked with Atletico for a good 2 seasons, hasn't he? So Romero, he's definitely off. That's a fact. He is definitely going. But Mohamed Kudus, obviously, if Spurs get relegated, he's going to go. But if by some miracle we do survive, then maybe Kudus will stay. So I'm going to take that Mohamed Kudus one with a pinch of salt right now. But obviously, let's watch this space, isn't it? Let's watch this space. Plus, next season, Championship has VAR, and there is 8 teams for the playoffs. Yeah, I've heard about that. Eight teams. There's going to be 8 teams in the playoff. Do you know what? You could have 12 teams in that playoff. I really can't see Spurs getting near that. I really can't. Our team, our squad is going to be torn apart like no tomorrow if we go down. It's going to be a total refresh. And like I said, some people are saying, well, it's going to give the likes of me and you and everyone else a kick up the arse. It could be a fresh start. A fresh start in the Championship. Let's face it, the board haven't got a clue. They're making the situation worse, and I can't see it getting any better. At the end of the day, we need ENIC to sell up. The board need a seriously good shake up, because that's the only way we are going to seriously push on. You know what I mean? other comments here. What others? Yeah, Lincoln first, Cardiff second. Yeah. I know we could be potentially playing those two next season. It's heartbreaking, man. People are saying 22 defeats is not good enough because the league is our bread and butter. We might beat that record with 23 losses, which is still simple. I know. I've got to laugh because if you don't laugh, you cry. You know what I mean? And I'm doing all the talking in the chat. I know, guys, come on, guys, let me know your thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Are Spurs going to get anything? Are we going to get anything at Anfield today? If you're asking me, I've got no faith left, and I've gone with Liverpool 5, Spurs 1. A little consolation goal there for Spurs. Another defeat, another nail in the coffin, and here we are. And that could also be the final nail in Igor Tudor's coffin, because with the Igor Tudor situation, he should have never, ever been brought to Spurs in the first place. I seriously don't. This is what I mean with the board, right? The board. They have no clue. They simply have no clue what they are doing. Surely they would have had a list of names, right? Oh yeah, maybe Redknapp, Igor Tudor, Ryan Mason, Jermaine Defoe. I'm just throwing out a bunch of names, by the way. But they've looked at Igor Tudor and they should have gone straight to the win ratio and gone, 38%. Don't know about that. Nah, scrap that one. Redknapp. Or even Tim Sherwood. Why not? I'm throwing Tim Sherwood in the mix, because when Tim Sherwood was there, if anyone in the chat remembers Tim Sherwood being Spurs manager, I know he was there for a short time, but his win ratio was fucking outstanding. He got the players on board. He got the results that was needed. Redknapp done the same when he took over one day Ramos. I know we was down within that bottom 3, bottom 4 back in the days. Again, it was early stages of that Premier League season. But when he took over one day Ramos, he took us from literally low down, and we finished 5th that season, didn't we? And it was the season after Spurs got into the Champions League. So why not a Tim Sherwood? Why not Harry Redknapp? Why not? Or maybe even bring them both together. Look, I know Redknapp, he's pushing 79, 80 now. You know what I mean? He needs to have his time with his family. But he's been interviewed a number of times last week, and even the week before, with the likes of TalkSport. Oh, would you fancy the Spurs job if you got the call? Oh yeah, I spoke to Levy. You know, if Daniel Levy was still there, of course I'd give it a go. It was something along them lines he said. You know, but does he really need that stress? Does he really need that stress? I know, look, it definitely needs someone like a Redknapp material to come in. You know, they would show him that respect. You would hope they would show him that respect. He's been at Spurs before, managed Spurs before, I should have said, and he's worked miracles. So maybe bring Redknapp in. And saying that, maybe bring Jermaine Defoe or even a Tim Sherwood to work alongside Redknapp. That would be freaking outstanding. And you know, then maybe we have a slight chance of staying in the league. But if Spurs keep hold of Igor Tudor from now until the end of the season, then kiss goodbye to the Premier League. Hello, Championship. I know some might say, because I've heard it as well, some might say that Igor Tudor's a top manager. He's been at Benfica, Juventus, Lazio, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and what? He's not managed in the Premier League before, has he? And again, like I said before, look at his win ratio. It is shite. 38% win ratio. How long did he last at Juve? If I remember rightly, Juventus was his last managerial job. And again, from my understanding, he was only at Juventus for about 8 or 9 months. And saying that, that's funny enough, that was the same time as Thomas Frank, wasn't it? Not good. Not good. Igor Tudor does not last at any club that he's at. Does not last. So surely the board, maybe Yannick, would have looked at that and gone, oh, don't know. Let's look at someone else. It's like they've gone, no, fuck that, come on. Just get Frank out, get anyone in, I don't care, just get him in. I know it for the best. That's simply how it is. And it's got the situation a hell of a lot worse. So if we do lose, well, I don't know why I'm saying if, because we are going to lose today. I know there is a chance, because you never know in football. You really never know in football. But this is Spurs. This is Tottenham, isn't it? So when we do lose today, that surely has to be Igor Tudor's final game in charge, and we seriously have to go for Redknapp or Tim Sherwood. Some might say Sean Dyche. Some of you might be laughing right now. I'm not going to lie, I laughed as well when that's how low Spurs are right now. They are looking at someone like Sean Dyche, aka Phil Mitchell. You know what I mean? That's how low Spurs are right now. They're looking at Sean Dyche. Now, again, rumour has it that Sean Dyche has even turned down Spurs. Now, what's that tell you? If we can't get a hold of someone like Sean Dyche, that's how low Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are right now. We are fucking screwed. We are screwed. I know someone like Sean Dyche, maybe he could work a slight miracle, bit like Redknapp, maybe a Tim Sherwood, because he loves a relegation scrap, doesn't he, old Sean Dyche? He's one of them managers over the seasons that's got a team out of a scrappy fight down in the mix, and he's kept him in the league. But who knows? Who knows what's around the corner? Who knows? But today surely has to be Tudor's final last game. He can't last any longer after today. Surely not. Surely not, guys. Surely not. In Liverpool, I said it again. In Australia, Liverpool has the biggest fan base. Do they really? Do they? You learn something new every day. I didn't know that. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that. If you think we're going down, Spurs will sell their stars at cut cost deal. Yeah, exactly. I would have gone for Chris Hughton. Yeah, Chris Hughton back in the day. If you know, then you know now. You know, Chris Hughton. Yeah, he's been there before. Played for the club, assistant manager over many years back in the 90s, early 2000s. You just don't know. You just don't know, do you? It could be anyone. Could be anyone, but right now, for me, I would go with Redknapp. Redknapp to work alongside the foe would be a good mix. Again, Redknapp and Sherwood would be a good mix, or just Tim Sherwood. Just someone who's got a bit, you know, saying a bit about themselves, you know, has been there before. And I know back in the Tim Sherwood days, we had players like, I think Gareth Bale was there then in his early days. Maybe Modric. I'm just trying to think back now. Definitely players like Nico Cranchard, didn't we? Jermaine Defoe. Quality players. Again, when you think back what we've got now, what Spurs have now is basically average. It's average, isn't it? It's average. Guys, I've got a little something here. Where is it? Bear with me, guys. I had it up earlier. And I've gone and lost it, haven't I? I've gone and lost it. Yeah, I haven't got it now. All right, forget about that one. But yeah, honestly, to think what we had and what we've got now is it's just heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Ramos' last 8 games for Spurs was 2 draws and 6 losses. Yeah, one day Ramos, man. Yes. Obviously, beforehand, Gilles was the last manager to get something, wasn't he, for Spurs? That was the old League Cup, wasn't it? We should get Glenn Hoddle in to help. I do rate Glenn. I do rate Glenn. He was a phenomenal Tottenham midfielder, wasn't he? Again, a bit like Redknapp. Would you really get Hoddle in? Look, nah, nah. He's had a lot of he's had a lot of operations, hasn't he? Hoddle on his art and God knows what else. But does he really need that pressure? Should he really be thrown into that mix with the players that we do have left that simply have no fight? Does someone like Hoddle, really need that pressure? Nah, no. Honestly, no. Just let him carry on doing his punditry. He's all right there. He's all right there. Yeah, like I said earlier, get Redknapp, King, Defoe. Yeah, King's a good one to take over last remaining games. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Do you know what? I'd even throw Ledley King at the back with one knee, frame in. I'm sure he'd do a much better job than what we've got. No, I mean, I'd literally rather have Kevin Danzo playing alongside Ledley King later today. I really would. I really would. I really would, guys. On the positive side of things, if there's more, sorry, I said it again. On the positive side, if we do go down, there's more games in the EFL. Yeah, there's about 48 in there. About 48 games. 48. Ah, boy, I don't even want to think about it. Spurs in the Championship next season. Lincoln away. Teams like Portsmouth, Charlton, Derby. Ah, fuck that. Nah. I really don't want to think about it. I really don't, guys. Stevie Wonder would be. I say that again. Stevie Wonder would do a better job than Tudor. He would. He would. I think anyone would do a better job than Tudor. Tudor's an awful manager. Seriously awful. Like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, surely they would have looked at his win ratio, gone, 38%. Nah. Look elsewhere, guys. Look elsewhere. Crazy, innit? Crazy, guys. We got Martin Richards. Is Tudor going after this game? Like I've said before, he has to simply go. If he stays any longer, then we are screwed. Well, we're screwed anyway, aren't we? Let's face it. Like I said, I've got no faith left. I really have no faith left. Got nothing left. Nothing left. I sound like Ian Bill there for me, Stenders. I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left. But honestly, it's seriously, I've got no faith left. Surely if we fucking lose today, Tudor has to go. Surely he can't be Spurs manager still by Tuesday, Wednesday night, whenever it is we play in the second leg against Atletico. Surely not, guys. Yeah, he's only got one there. Yeah, like I said, I'd rather play Ledley King at the back. Really would. Other comments here. We need a manager to lift this team. Tudor is garbage. He knows nothing about man management. Yeah, you talk about man management. I know I brought that before, obviously it was the night of when we lost our first leg against Atletico, but Tudor's not only an awful manager, but his man management, just everything about him is just complete and utter garbage, isn't it? The way he treated Kingsky, when Kingsky was subbed off in the 17th minute, and he was made to feel this small. Like, you're seeing it and you're thinking, what the fuck? At least acknowledge the guy. At least, make eye contact and quickly say, we'll talk at half time. Do something. Don't just, because Tudor literally just stood there, arms folded. Kingsky's just gone straight down the tunnel. Like, there's no compassion there. There's nothing whatsoever. Obviously, we don't know if anything was said during half time, but I seriously hope there was, because look, Kingsky, I do rate him, and but for the past, I'm trying to think quickly back now to when Vicario started playing really, really bad, because obviously at the start of Vicario joining Spurs, he was all right. He was very good. I know, especially to this season, he's been absolutely awful. You know, cost us so many games, like against Fulham, West Ham. But I've been calling for Kingsley to start over Vicario for basically such a long time. And obviously, Kingsley got his chance in a very big game a few nights ago in the Champions League first leg away to Atletico Madrid, when we all knew we have no chance. And what a way to throw the kid in. Yeah, at least bring him in a couple of games before that in the league. You know what I mean? Let him gel in a little bit. You know, don't throw him straight into a big game like that where you know full well we're not going to get anything. But to not acknowledge him, not to say anything, not an arm, nothing whatsoever, is just very, very poor man management. Very, very poor. And Igor Tudor should be ashamed of himself, because I'm just sick to death to think he's only been here, what, I think today's going to be his 5th game in charge. Am I right? Let me know in the comments, guys. I think it's going to be his 5th game in charge, but I've seen way too much now. Tudor out, the board, Enoch, majority of the players, they all need to go. They all need to go. I'm going to read out a few more comments, and then I've got to call this stream a day, guys. 46. Oh, there's 46 games in the EFL. I was only a couple of games out then, because I thought it was 48. Anyway, big up Martin Richards again. Our board has to take the blame for this mess. Yeah, it's not only the board. It's a whole mixture of things. You've got the board have no clue what to do. Certain players have given up. Certain players don't want to be there. I know injuries haven't helped the situation, because they haven't. You've only got to look back to last season, but then that's another discussion I could seriously bang on about. How have we not learnt from our lessons from last season, where we've had so many injuries, and it's carried on to this season? This is what I mean. There's again, with the board and the ownership, there is no ambition, no fight, nothing to seriously push this club forward, to be challenging again, at least to show some fight, give us some entertainment, see some creativity. Nothing. It's just nothing, is there? Absolutely nothing. Another comment here, Milton Flicks. One of the things I wanted to point out, no one talks about Jed Spence tapping Igor to get acknowledgement, but Mickey Van der Ven and Jed refused to acknowledge Thomas Frank. Double standards team is filled with spoilt brats. Yeah, exactly that. This is what I mean. The majority of the players have simply given up. They've simply given up, and they don't care. They just want out. Like Mickey Van der Ven, he clearly wants out now. He's had enough. Christian Romero, he definitely wants out. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Kingsley shouldn't have started in a big game. Vicario had 6 clean sheets in 8 games in the Champions League. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, that is true. If he was going to start Kingsley the other night, at least start him a few games before in the league. Because, like I said earlier in my stream, I was calling out for Kingsley to be starting over Vicario in the Premier League, because I rate Kingsley a hell of a lot. Saying that, I'd even throw Brendan Austin in the mix. I really would. I really would, guys. Guys, if you've just joined, please smash that like button. Please get subscribing to the channel if you are new. I'd really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, fifth game. So 5th game in charge today, isn't it? Yeah, I was right then. 4 games, 4 losses, 5 goals scored, and 14 goals conceded. It's so poor, isn't it? That is so poor. This is what I mean. Surely they would have seen his win ratio and gone, fuck that. No, let's look elsewhere. Redknapp, let's give him a call. But no, they haven't. They haven't. Why not? Why not? Honestly, guys. We got another Aussie in the house. Afternoon, we are winning today. I can feel it. Do you know? You're a Liverpool fan, right? Surely you're not Spurs and really thinking we're going to get something today against Liverpool at Anfield. Surely not. Of course I want Spurs to win. Don't get me wrong. Of course I want Spurs to win. Because I love my club to bits. Obviously now I've said that there's a lot of Spurs fans that actually want Spurs relegated. But I would never ever wish for Spurs to be relegated. I would never ever say that. If anyone should be relegated, it should be the board, certain players that simply don't want to be there, and ENIC. They're the ones that need to be relegated, not us. Not us, guys. Not us. Not us. But yeah, like you said, Aussie Ange. Let's hope. A big hope and a big pray that Spurs do get something today. But it's going to be a massive ask, a very very big ask. We all know that one. We all know that one. Aussie Ange again. We are beating Liverpool 4-0 away today. No, you're being silly now. 4-0. 4-0. What, they're going to put their kids out? They're going to get their kids out and then be down to 9 men within the first couple of minutes to give us a chance. Is that what you're saying? So yeah, I've got a feeling we're going to beat Liverpool today, 4-0 away. I have a feeling we smashed Manchester last season 4-0. That gives me hope. No, I've lost all faith. I really have. Big up, Carl. Afternoon, bruv. Big up yourself. Smash the likes. Get subbing to the channel. But please, 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 please. The more likes, the better it is for my channel, and I'll get the old algorithm malarkey doing the old wonders and pushes the channel out there basically. So please, please smash the likes. Big up Milton again. Sell the lot of them. Vicario for the Golden Glove in the Champions League. Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? This is typical Spurs, isn't it? Vicario's stats in the Champions League is just bonkers, really bonkers. Big up Milton, already liked and subscribed. Big up yourself, I really appreciate that. Please, please, please share the channel. Big up Milton again. Spurs are taking more. So I said it again. Spurs are taking more and beating than Bonnie Blue. Big up Dad Spurs. Spurs are getting out of that. Sorry, Spurs getting out pants. Pull down to yeah. They're getting way pulled down, spanked many times. We're just getting fucking torn apart, aren't we? Time after time after time. To think, it was the last couple of games we played in the league. Fulham, nothing from that. Palace, nothing. You know what I mean? These are teams we should be beating. Terrible, and absolutely terrible. Would you take Scott Parker as the gaffer? No. Let him stay at Burnley. He's doing all right for Burnley. Gets relegated, brings them up, gets relegated again, and I'm sure they will go down this season. I know mathematically they could still stay up, but yeah, I feel they're going down this season, and then I'm sure they'll be straight up again next season. That's just one of them teams that just, by some weird way of saying it, they get relegated from the they get relegated from the Premier League and then bounce straight up and then get relegated again. They just a simple yo-yo team. But for Scott Parker to come to Spurs, yeah, very good player, by the way, very good player. I do remember him playing, but to be Spurs manager, he's nah, not for me. He's not one to get. He's definitely not one to get Spurs out of this mess. That's a definite fact. Definite. Whatever comes here. Big up Scott. Big up COYS. Big up guys. Big up Scott. Milton again. Even Jesus couldn't fix Spurs. No one's going to fix Spurs. The only ones that can fix Spurs is the group of players that we have left. They have to fight. They have to show some. They just have to show just a little bit of passion, a bit of fight. If not for themselves, for us. You know what I mean? Because we are the ones that are suffering. They just come and go. We're the ones that stick and stay. And like I said, we're the ones that suffer. If anything, do it for us. Do it for us. I mean, if teams down there in the mix: Wolves, Palace, Burnley. I know Burnley got another point yesterday, didn't they, against was it Bournemouth? But all these teams down there in the mix, they're all fighting. They're showing that they're trying. And what's Spurs doing? What's Spurs doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Big up Milton again. Yeah, we are honestly cursed. When it rains, it pours. I wouldn't say we're cursed because we won our first trophy in 17 years. Obviously, if we didn't win that, then yeah, we are cursed. But it's just one of them ones where we have simply been neglected as a football club. Tottenham Hotspur is, how can I say it? We're just simply not a football club anymore. It's just for entertainment purposes. Entertainment. I've seen many articles, especially when Daniel Levy was still lurking around like a bad smell, and he would list out the things that go on at Tottenham, and it's like F1 go-karting, boxing, concerts, NFL, blah, 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 blah. Last on the list, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Levy. Nice one, Levy. Nice one. We're last on the list. Yeah, that's what the stadium is for, to play football. Yeah, it's last on the list. Yeah, nice one, Levy. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, I like that. That's it. It's just there for the simple fact of that, to bring the tourists in, not for the football club itself. Not for the football club itself, guys. Not for the football club itself. Spurs is a business franchise. It's making printing money. Yeah, exactly that. Another comment here. Yeah, Enoch are the curse. Enoch are the curse, guys. Enoch are the curse. 25 years they have been at Tottenham. And what have they done for us? 2 trophies. Other than that, the best thing they have done was got Pochettino in. And they let Poch have a very, very good number of seasons. But when the time come where he needed to be backed, he wasn't backed, was he? Didn't get that backing. Instead, it was, off you go. Next one, please. And even the likes of Mourinho, even Conte. Now, Conte, we all know what happened there. Conte literally spoke his mind, didn't he? He spoke the truth about the board, the hierarchy. Enoch, once he said all those words, there's no staying. Is there? Off you go. Next one, please. That's what I mean. And since then, we've gone down. Lucky not to go down last season. We was only thankful because the bottom 3 that were going down there was a massive points difference compared to this season. When you look back to last season, 22 league defeats. Now, when you see a team lose 22 league games, you're going down. But like I said, we was only thankful those bottom 3 that did go down, there was a bigger points difference. But again, going on to ambition, fight, all of the above, the hierarchy have shown none of that whatsoever. They've not learnt from their mistakes. This is why I said earlier, winning that Europa League simply papered over the cracks. It got the likes of me and you partying for 5 minutes, forgetting about what happened in the league, simply forgetting that we finished 4th, 22 league defeats. Yeah, we're champions of Europe, blah, 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 blah. We've got Champions League football next season. Yeah, we're the best. Come on. Yeah, we can beat anyone. Come on. Yeah. No, forget that. Seriously, that was only 9 months. To think that was 9 months ago. 9 months ago to now we're back to square one. They have not learnt from their mistakes. Nothing whatsoever. And here we are, you know what I mean? Big up Milton again. We should have never left White Hart Lane. Yeah, do you know what? I missed that lane. I missed that little lane. I really do. But yeah, yeah, we should have never left White Hart Lane. But at least we got the new naming for the stadium. We are called White Hart Paint. Oh, don't. It's true, and it is true. Such a sad state of affairs we are in. Yeah, of course, it's very sad, and it's just getting worse. And I really, I seriously hope that we get someone in that really, really wants to throw a lot of money at the Lewis family, Enoch, and buy the club. Because at the end of the day, we just need a buyer that obviously, yes, has a lot of money, but at the same time, they got a passion for the football club. They want to see Tottenham Hotspur Football Club succeed and take us to the very top. Or at least show us they are trying. That's what I should have said. At least show us they are trying to do something for us, to take this football club where it should be. But here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Here we are. Another comment here. Justice for Conte, Nuno. Yeah. Pochettino. And Tudor. I wouldn't say Tudor. Levy in. Hashtag Levy in. Nah. No. Oh, okay. You're a Daniel Levy fan, right? Okay. Justice for Frank. Yeah. Before I do go, yeah, I've rated Thomas Frank. I really do. Very good manager. Nice bloke. But his level was Brentford. That was it. Coming to Spurs has literally killed his managerial career. It really has. It really has. I know being at Tottenham, I don't need to go into that because with the board and the ownership, etc., it's not done Frank no favours whatsoever, has it? But at the end of the day, I just felt that with Frank, his level's Brentford, and that's simply that. He should have stayed at Brentford. Coming to Spurs, he just see that money. His eyes lit up when he see that money, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." He's obviously not thought long and hard about that situation, has he? And again, thought about the managers that have been there, like Pochettino. I know he didn't win anything, but he come close. Just needed maybe two or three extra boys to come in and really get that extra foot over the line. But we've had Jose Mourinho been at other clubs, succeeded, come to Spurs, can't do it. Conte been at other clubs, succeeded, come to Spurs, can't do it. So we should have seen that as well and gone, nah, I'll stay with Brentford for now. I'll look elsewhere. But he didn't. Newcastle have Saudi owners and we still can't spend what they want. Yeah. Obviously, when the new, from my understanding, when the new ownership took over Newcastle, there was a cut, wasn't there? They could only spend such amount, from my understanding. So that's obviously why that's there. Because again, from my understanding, Newcastle are one of the richest clubs, around, aren't they? I'm sure they are. Another comment here. Came in as a Liverpool fan to hear. What's that meant to say? Opposite views. Feel like you need a hug, mate. Good luck for tomorrow. Onwards. Look, I don't need luck. I don't need luck. Honestly, I've got no faith left within this group of boys that are left and not injured, obviously. And I just see another Premier League defeat and another nail in Igor Tudor's coffin. Because surely he cannot stay after today, because we are going to lose. Let's face it, we are going to lose today. And we're definitely going to lose in a couple of nights' time in the second leg against Atletico, back at the Lane, by the way, in the Champions League. Again, that's another loss there. So surely Igor Tudor can't stay much longer. If they seriously want Tottenham to stay in the league, they have to get him out and seriously take their chances elsewhere. They have to. They simply have to. Guys. It can't continue, surely. Rumour has it that Thomas Frank is off to Palace next season. Interesting. Obviously, yeah, Oliver Glasner's leaving, isn't he? At the end of the season. So that'd be interesting there. Besides Spurs, do you have a soft spot for any other English teams? No, not really. I'm a Spurs fan through my dad. My dad was born and bred in Spurs, so I've literally been Spurs from the day I was born. So thanks to my dad, I've had to sit through the pain year after year, season after season, being a Spurs fan. So here we are. But yeah, do I have a soft spot for anyone? Not really, no. Not really. I'm Spurs through, you know, through thick and thin, me. It would be so Spursy if we beat Liverpool and pick up 5 injuries. It would be the most Spursiest thing if Spurs do win today. It really would. It really would. But look, like I keep saying, I've got no faith left. No faith left whatsoever. And again, you've only got to look at the injury list. He's obviously going to go with 3 at the back because for some reason Igor Tudor loves 3 at the back, doesn't he? Just play your simple back 4, so on and so on and so on. So is he going to go with that? Obviously for Curry in goal again. He's not going to throw Kinksy in goal again. His days in goal at Spurs are done. I really feel. So for Curry in goal for me, obviously he's going to go with a back 3. Kevin Danzo, Draggers in. Porro. Is he going to put Spence on the wing? I really don't know how this one's going to how this one's going to work. You know, it's going to be an interesting one, but it's going to be a headache at the same time, and it's going to be heartbreaking at the same time. And it's just going to be very, very difficult to sit there and watch. But yeah, Flicks, come on, like Wolves. If Wolves can do something against Liverpool, I'm sure Spurs can. It's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as that. Like I keep saying, all those teams down there in the mix are all fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their fans. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting for the crest. And what Spurs doing? Just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting to go down because they've simply given up. They have simply given up. But hey, let's hope. You never know. Spurs being Spurs, we could literally surprise Liverpool and get our first win at Anfield in 14 games. You just never know. We are down to the bones. Yeah, we could have 50 goalkeepers and still concede 5 to 6 goals. Maybe Archie Gray can play in goal. Yeah, he's played in every other position. Saying that, Archie Gray's not played up top, so why not put Archie Gray up top? You know what I mean? I'm interested to see what formation he's going to go with. Obviously, it's going to be the back 3, like I said. Bakara's in goal, and that's a definite. But it's going to be an interesting one to see who actually starts. Because, you know, like we were all saying, we're all down to the bare bones. And I know Spurs fans are out there saying, bring the kids in. Well, I would be all for that, to bring the kids in. But at the end of the day, it's kids playing with kids, and we have no leadership. And again, we are down in a relegation scrap. You can't put kids in a relegation battle. You're fighting a losing battle. You're basically fighting a losing battle, and there's no way out of it whatsoever. It's just yeah, it's gonna be very, very difficult in a couple of hours' time. You know, Vicario striker and Archie Gray goals. Yeah, Igor Tudor as centre back. Yeah, I've heard along the pipeline that Igor Tudor was a solid centre back in his day. Just a shame he can't do it in his managerial career, isn't it? Yeah, player manager. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Right, that is enough from me. Thank you to each and every one of you. Hang on, there's another comment here. Only put the kids in when you're 4-0 up with 10 minutes left. Exactly. It's as simple as that. But yes, right, guys, that is me done. I have to shoot now. But hey, let's hope let's hope by some miracle, a very, very big miracle, that we do at least get a point today. At least show us a bit of passion, a bit of fight, you know what I mean? And then we move on to, obviously, after the second leg against Atletico Madrid, which is the big one. It's basically our cup final, and that's Nottingham Forest. Whoever wins that stays in the league, basically. I know there's still more games after that, but we have to get all 3 points next weekend. Time will tell, guys. But yes, thanks to each and every one of you that's watched. Again, thanks to each and every one of you in the chat. Big up all of you. I really appreciate it. Please, if you've not smashed that like button yet, please smash the likes on your way out, and please get subscribing to the channel, and please share. So yeah, as always, up the Spurs, and yeah, come on, COYS. In a bit, guys. Take it easy.